Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Or if it's your first time, welcome to my channel. My name is Marlene and I talk about everything related to healing the relationship with your own body, with food and with movement. And a lot of you have asked me to share my tips around restoring your nails, your hair, your skin, and overall getting healthier hair, nail, and skin after recovery. And today we're gonna dive into that topic. But before I start, I would love you to leave a like, leave a comment if you like this video, or maybe share it with someone who might benefit from it. Because we're trying to grow this channel in order to reach more people and to create a community of healing. In this video, I will talk about the reasons for brittle hair, nails, and maybe even acne, even after starting to eat more. I will also give you some recommendations how to work with it, and I will share some of my favorite products. And just a little disclaimer, I do not work with any of those brands, so these are truly my recommendations and products that work for me. So let's dive right into the topic as we always do. A lot of you actually have asked me, I started eating again, I started recovery maybe a while ago, yet my hair looks so brittle, is still so broken, my nails are still not recovered, and my skin is breaking out. Why is that? So here's the thing, when you stop recovery, and especially when you come from a malnourished state, and keep in mind that doesn't have anything to do with a BMI, everyone can be in a malnourished state if they didn't eat enough, regardless of what their body looks like or weighs like. So if you are in a malnourished state and you start to eat again, body focuses on survival. So it will make sure to put on weight, oftentimes around your stomach, to protect all the important organs. And it just will make sure to do the internal repair first, which means that it often has to put on a little bit more weight and then starts to repairing internal organs, bones, hormones, and all that kind of stuff. Your nails and your hair are certainly not a priority. And I know that you would wish they were, but your body really just concentrates on surviving rather than on, repairing your hair. So this is why our hair oftentimes is 3 to 6 months behind when it comes to our physical health. So you might be physically a little bit healthier already, but your hair still looks broken. Same goes for your nails. When it comes to your skin, a lot of things play a huge role. So the first thing is, of course, once you start introducing different foods again, your body has to adjust, which doesn't mean that you should stop introducing those foods. It just shows you that the body adjusted to under-eating and to cutting out food groups, so now it might need some time to adjust again. Another reason why your skin might break out a little bit more in recovery is hormonal changes. And hormonal changes, of course, happen in recovery because if we are malnourished, our body slows everything down and as well the hormone production. So after starting to eat more, the body will try to repair that, and the hormones might be a little bit out of whack, which is actually very common in recovery. If you are unsure about this, I would always recommend seeing a doctor because I'm not a medical professional and this is just a video about, acne and the skin itself. But it's also always very important to get it checked by a doctor. And another reason is that your cortisol levels might change. For some people, they might actually lower because under-eating and being malnourished is a huge stress on the body. But at the same time, recovery can also be mentally stressful because you're dealing with a lot of things. You have to challenge your fears. So your stress hormones might go up and down, which also have an impact on the skin. And another reason are changes in the microbiome. Due to changing your food, your intake, maybe even your movement, the bacteria on the skin, which is necessary, might change. So the microbiome of the skin might change temporarily, and once the body finds its new normal and its new balance, this will probably work out again. Another reason are changes in the skin's healing process, which means that when we're malnourished and under-eating, our skin is healing slower because, again, the body is trying to conserve energy and is focusing on other things. So once we start eating more, our skin might have another speed of healing, which sometimes can also lead to more oil production and therewith to acne. If you struggle with painful acne or are just overall very, very unhappy with it, I would definitely advise you to see a dermatologist because, again, I'm happy to share my tips, but oftentimes the reasons or the challenges of acne are way deeper. So if you are unsure, I would advise you to see a doctor. And let's talk about nails. Just like with hair, it's the same procedure with nails. If we're under-eating and especially if we're lacking certain minerals, which often is the case, especially in restrictive eating disorders, our nails might suffer from it, which means the nails often get brittle, we can't really grow them long anymore, and sometimes you get those white spots on the nails, which often can be a sign of lack of minerals. Now I want to go over to give you some of my favorite tips before I actually share some of my favorite products with you. So number one is of course renourishing. And even though with renourishment you might see changes in your skin that you don't like, it is so important to stick with it because those changes in the skin came from being malnourished in the first place. So the longer you stick with renourishing and don't going back into ED behaviors, the bigger the chances are that your skin eventually will clear up. And of course you can, look at certain ingredients, but I would advise you not to take too much care of it because your main focus in recovery should be just to eat and to eat freely and to listen to mental and physical hunger. So it is important not to get caught up in, checking ingredients or checking that you eat enough of this and of that. So I would advise you to still try to listen to your extreme hunger, which oftentimes is actually what the body needs. So if your body is craving certain foods, even though you might think it's not the best for your skin or your hair or your nails, chances are that this is what the body actually needs to heal. But of course, if you want to take some supplements, I would also advise you to see a doctor first and get some blood work checked, which I actually advise everyone to do. Your blood might show some lack of certain minerals or vitamins, and then after talking to your doctor, you might want to decide to take some supplements. But again, oftentimes the body actually also regulates itself, so I would also advise you to, get blood work done on a regular basis just to keep on track and to, don't miss out on anything. Then of course, there's like a bunch of tips I would actually give everyone, not only in those who are in recovery, which are like don't wash your hair too often and try to use shampoos or even conditioners that are soft on the hair. For some people also with recovery comes more greasy hair or like a more greasy skin on the head. So what I like to do, I'm using a scalp peeling which contains tea tree oil, which is super helpful on the one hand to help with greasy skin, to get rid of like old skin particles. Yes, they also happen on your head, and also to calm down the skin due to the tea tree oil. And then I'm just using regular shampoo, to be completely honest. Sometimes I just use the cheapest. Sometimes if I feel like treating myself, I use a slightly more expensive brand. But one thing that is really, really important is using conditioner, because when your hair is wet, your hair is actually like in a very vulnerable state because it is wet. So using conditioner kind of closes the ends and helps your hair to recover faster from being wet. If you use a blow hairdryer, always use heat protection, because as important as it can be, blow dry your hair, especially before you're going to sleep, it is just as important to also use heat protection just to not dry out your hair as much. And I just mentioned it, never go to bed with wet hair, because then especially the ends of your hair might rub together and your hair is already in a vulnerable state, and then you're gonna wake up and your hair is gonna look messy. And the last tip for your hair is actually to never sleep with open hair. You might want to sleep in a bun or maybe like just braid your hair, because again, we want to avoid that the hair is getting rubbed between your head and the pillow. My next tip is for skin. Even though I don't use a lot of makeup very often, I always try to remove my makeup at night. And yes, I get it. It might be annoying, but it is really, really helpful. I'm removing my makeup, especially on my lashes, because I don't want my lashes to break. And I also use a soft cleanser for my skin. Even for my skin, I'm using pretty affordable products. I'm not like really in this high-end branch. I'm just like using a skin cleanser that is not too harsh on my skin. I don't like to work with a lot of acid or something like this. And just gently remove all the particles and everything from the day before going to bed. For my nails, I've been doing the same thing. I like to wear nail polish, but I don't do it all the time. And when I wear colorful nail polish, I always make sure to have a polish underneath so that the color is not directly on my nail. And I oftentimes also remove my cuticles and use some oil on my nails just to give it some extra strengthening. And last but not least, my lashes. As I said before, I always remove makeup before going to bed, and sometimes I also adjust some oil on my lashes for the night just to give them a little bit more strength. Moving on to my favorite products. So as I said before, I don't work with any of those brands, and these are truthfully the products I like to use. Some of them are a little bit more expensive, and I like to invest a little bit more in these products and then use pretty affordable products, as I said before, for instance, as my regular shampoo or also my cleanser for the face. But one product that actually helped me a lot with my nails is this nail polish. It's the Nail Power Microcell, and this is the nail polish, and it comes in this shade or also just like a clear shade, and you basically apply it on your nails and then apply a second base on the next day before removing it and do it over and over again. Sometimes I also just use it underneath my collar polish, and it's really helpful because it helps my nails to stay longer and to not break. The second product I'm actually using for my brows and my lashes, because my lashes are not naturally super long, but I swear it helps. Those products, Brow Cocaine and Lash Cocaine, were my lifesavers. You apply them at night, and just a little disclaimer, there are certain people who say that they are not the best ingredient-wise, so if you're really unsure, please do some research first. They definitely work for me, and I really see a change within a few weeks, and I see my eyebrows being more filled out and also my lashes being way longer. And last but not least, this is actually a product I just found last weekend. And yes, I fell victim to an Instagram ad and I had to order it, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not disappointed. This brand is called IKJ, and this is the antisocial spray, and you basically apply it to your hair. And I'm actually gonna give you a before and after picture here because I was so shocked by the results. My hair was like naturally very brittle, and even though during my eating disorder I actually used to have very long hair, I couldn't grow it anymore, even though now I'm recovered. This is because the lengths of my hair were always so dry and they would always break, which is why they didn't really grow any longer. After using this product, I'm such a fan that I had to buy another product soon, which is this one. I haven't used it yet, so let me know if you also want to have a review of this. These products are a little bit more on the expensive side. I'm definitely going to link all of the products underneath, but I really wanted to share them with you. And again, I don't work with any of those companies, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of way more affordable products out there that work just as well. So if you have any tips, comment them down below because I would love to learn more products. And also, I'm pretty sure other people would love to get your final tips too. And let me know how you like this type of video. Let me know if you have any other questions regarding, hair, skin, lashes, and nails, or anything else regarding recovery. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one.